Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we're deciding that bigger is better, and so Breitling and Bentley combined, larger than either on its own. Launched in 2006, this is the Breitling Bentley Flying B, named after the distinctive logo and radiator mascot of the Bentley car brand. The Flying B is a bit of a curiosity in modern Breitling watchmaking because there is no non-Bentley equivalent. It's not a Bentley version of a Navitimer or a Chronomat or a Super Ocean. This is very much its own watch, unique dial, case, and module. And it is an imposing thing. In stainless steel, it's 40.6 millimeters side to side, not including the crown. From lug to lug, it's 57.2, which is huge. It's 14.7 millimeters thick, which might be its most reasonable dimension, and then the spacing between the lugs is a mighty 24 millimeters. Breitling for Bentley, where bigger is better. And you can see bigger is better when it comes to the wrist that should be wearing this. This watch is too big for me. I'm going to say you need a 17 centimeter circumference wrist to wear this. I'll let you be the judge. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference. If you think this looks fine, and some will, then it fits comfortably. That said, you can see how the lugs are right out to the edge of my wrist. I do believe that you're going to be a little bit overwhelmed unless you have a 17 centimeter circumference wrist while wearing this. There's a bit of a slope to the case flank, and it's not super thick, so it should be fine for jacket cuffs and maybe even a couple of shirt sleeves, provided your shirt sleeve is over 60 millimeters wide. Now, taking a quick look at this watch, it's got a bracelet that integrates pretty well with the case. There's no daylight visible between case and bracelet, so the nice handsome congruence between them. It does taper down from the lugs, and you can see we have a combination of polish and satin with removable links fixed by screws and the outer face polished. There are 4 sets of divots inside, so you can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point and thus fine-tune the fit. Polished single fold steel deploy in action. We have a clamshell lock, and you'll note that the clamshell is held on by a screw, so if this component ever gets worn, the Breitling watchmaker back at the factory can actually swap out this clamshell. So it's nice to know they've provided for that replacement down the road, because this can often be a service replacement part as it undergoes a shocking amount of wear and use. That's a nice forward-thinking piece of design right there. The watch is best described as a sort of modified tonneau. You can see there's faceting and profile, everything's of high polish, and there's a little bit of a camber or arc from side to side, like a bow. The bezel and the case are monoblock, so you can see everything loads through the back here. As a result of this monoblock construction, there's no seam between the bezel and the case, so it's a very clean, all-of-a-piece look. We do have a screw-down crown. The watch is 100 meters water-resistant, and here's where this one really sets itself apart from most of the Flying Bs that are out there. This is by no means a common watch, but when you find them, they're generally set with gems, and a lot of guys don't like that. And I know I'm not a fan of gem setting, so this model does something more subtle. We get a pyramid-style knurling outboard, much like what you'll find on historic and modern Bentley cars. Then there's a sort of sunburst metallic sheath underneath the satin-finished dial bezel. When you get to the dial itself, we've got a frame for the jumping hour, a polished skeletonized minute hand, we have a polished seconds hand, and then all of this is silver white and softly frosted. But if you look carefully, the applied indices are actually mother-of-pearl inserts. So we have this wonderfully subtle mother-of-pearl effect when you examine it closely. And you can see that the dial bezel has a wonderful media-blasted profile for low glare and reflection. And it really is quite subtly beautiful in a couple of ways. We have silver, red, and blue on this dial, plus the inherent chatoyancy and prismatic effects of mother of pearl. Now, it is a wonderfully fun thing to play with. Jump hours always are. They're dynamic, they're entertaining, they're engaging, and I always find that they're very easy to read. I like to have a digital time display. So we do have a stop seconds function. You can stop the seconds hand and synchronize to a reference time. There is a jumping hour module on top of the base caliber, which is an ETA 2892A2. Again, screw down crown, 100-meter water-resistant case. This is a bidirectional automatic winder with a 4 hertz beat rate, stop seconds, a 42-hour power reserve, and 5-position adjustment as a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. And it is not necessarily an easy thing to certify a jump hour as a chronometer, because there tend to be big builds and surges when the energy to jump is being stored up, and then immediately after the jump when the energy sometimes surges back into the escapement. So it's nice to know that this thing made it through 2 weeks of 5-position chronometer testing, and that the jump hour did not have any adverse effect on that. This watch is long since discontinued. Launched in 2006, was made from about 2006 through the turn of the decade, so discontinued in 2010 or 2011. You can see right here 0406, so the bracelet was made the 4th week of 2006, and in general, the age of the bracelet corresponds pretty closely to the age of the watch itself. They tend to be made at the same time. If you love this watch, reach out to me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.